Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to What She Said. This the daily What She Said daily live stream. All right. I know I turned on some music, so let's see. We can hear it. All right. Welcome everybody. We'll give everybody a chance to join. Notifications take time to discover sometimes. The squad usually shows up. All right. So y'all know today was a very eventful day for the Colorado Buffaloes. I went live earlier today and talked about it. I'm starting to see some comments come in after it happens. People really appreciate it and understand just how epic it is to have the Denzel Washington speak to the team. So earlier today, I shared that I didn't know how this came about because I was actually in the middle of something else and it popped up and I stopped everything I was doing to partake because I knew some knowledge and wisdom was coming and some insight, and that's exactly what happened. So as it turns out, Denzel Washington wanted to address the team. And one of the reasons I think he wanted to address the team is because of all of the hatred that Shador has been getting. Because he actually thought Shador was still there. And then he was like, because he said, I've never seen y'all play. And one of his messages was about the critics and how people that can't talk about people that can, and how not, that you're going to have haters, etc., in various areas of your life, including your house. And I addressed that. And people are going on just how epic it was because it highly unexpected. And, normally they brought in other speakers, but nobody on the level of Mr. Denzel Washington. But the fact that he wanted to talk to the team and he thought Shador was there, he likely was hearing all of the hatred that we were hearing as well. And then also wanting to address the team so that they can think about their future and understand that if they don't know what they want to do, what major they want as a freshman or a sophomore, it's okay because it happens. It happens to a lot of people. So that's what we talked about. So we'll address it, and I want to hear from you guys on if you had a chance to see the video, if you heard about it, what your thoughts are, because it's epic to me. I think it's pretty epic. And I meant to look up what 2 Academy Awards Denzel Washington was nominated for that he didn't get. And I never had a chance to because I had other stuff I had to go back and do. So, I'll probably get into that as well. But if let me know. All right, I see a few people back there. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you. Okay, so I have Shador here. Shador is on vacation, but he's still doing his podcast that he has to do, and he talked about the questions that he was asked the most at the combine. One question in particular, since he and his dad have been working together so long, how is it going to be without Pops? Essentially, that's what it was. How is it going to be without Pops? And let's see, put this down here. And he said, Pops and I had a great run. Pops and I had a great run. However, it's time for me to move on. And they make it seem like he's not going to see his dad anymore, as if his dad was his coach from kindergarten to high school or to college, and you're not going to see your coach anymore. I mean, so he was like, yeah, Pops and I had a great run, right? So, I respected his answer. He always has intelligent answers, despite what people think he's going to say. He always has intelligent answers. Pops and I had a great run. See, they don't understand. Shador is not the first child. He's not the only child. He's the third son. The youngest boy that watched the other 2 move on. So I don't know what they're thinking when they ask him those kinds of questions, but I don't know. I don't know, because it's not like he's the only child and he's been around his dad. That's a question you ask somebody that you spend every waking minute with. And that's not the case. He went to school. He went to class. He has friends. And if they watch any content from Shador and Coach Prime interacting at Jackson State or at Colorado, Shador does his own thing. Back at Jackson State, Shador, he had a lot more hair. And Coach Prime, for the most part, was basically telling him, like, maybe, suggesting that you go to my barber, And he was like, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to get my hair cut on camera, this, that, and the other. I got somebody to do it. And then I never forget when they first got to Colorado, Coach Prime was trying to put together a family vacation. And in that family vacation, he told Shador, why don't we go on vacation? Shador said, how long are you talking about? And he was like, 2 weeks or something. And Shador was like, I can't give you that. I can't give you that. Shador has always been his own person. That's why his nickname is Grown. So that tells you that they don't know Shador. They don't even bother to watch the content that's been out there since high school, with over 3 million views when he was at Trinity. Over, who knows, 1 million or 2 views when they were at Jackson State. And same thing at Colorado. If we've had a look into their life and we learned that Shador is mature, they could have went through the same thing. So these are people that are actually speaking on what they don't know about and didn't bother to go research. I didn't bother to research. So it is what it is. But, he answered the questions. So that's why I put this photo here, because I think it speaks volumes. I used it as a thumbnail. I think it speaks volumes. It says, I've been that guy. Because I wanted to look up, like basic different quotes that they had about Shador. And one that they had, it shows how much reverence and how much respect he has for Lamar Jackson's capabilities. When it comes to Lamar Jackson, you don't know what to expect because he's that guy. Shador also, while respecting another quarterback, is confident in his own abilities, And this quote that says, I've been that guy, actually goes on to say, so what's going to change? If I was that guy in high school, the guy in at Jackson State, the guy at Colorado, what's going to change? Facts. If you've already been that guy, why wouldn't you continue to be that guy? You had to study a new system at Trinity, because his dad wasn't always there from the beginning. His dad became the OC. He wasn't the head coach. So he had to learn whatever was going on before his dad got there. Then his dad's system. Then he had several OCs since. Then he had Jackson State. They had an OC. He had to learn that there. Same thing with Colorado. Had a different OC. Him and Pat Schumer had 2 at Colorado. So I'm trying to figure out, what is it that they think is going to be different? What people talk about with Shador, and I saw this at Jackson State. Somebody came into wherever they were living at or whatever, and at the time in the video was the same QB coach that he has. Like I said, Daryl Coper Jr. has been around Shador for a long time. Cam Ward just came into the fold, and I'm pretty sure Shador had a lot to do with that, just like Shador was very instrumental in Cam Ward staying one more year to get his stock up. And he probably went from a 4th rounder to a 1st rounder, a high 1st rounder. So Shador was just in the room, and guess what he was doing? He wasn't playing video games. He was studying film. So those are the things that they don't talk about with Shador. How much time and effort he puts into studying film, how well he can read defenses, his stellar football IQ, how he can extend the play. If he has an O-line, if he had the O-line probably that Cam Ward had in Miami, or they switched, it'd be a totally different story. So what we know from Shador, year 1 and year 2, he can outrun a weak O-line on the right side. And even with 52 sacks the first year, he only had 4 interceptions all year. It still put up numbers. That's why he's most sought after, despite what people say. I see the Raiders making all sorts of kind of moves. Free agency ends, I think it's tomorrow at 4:00, or today. I think it's tomorrow at 4:00. So we're going to talk about some of the free agency moves that are out there. Let me see who's in the comments, who's hanging out with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Gracie, good evening. Did you see, Gracie, did you see Denzel Washington yet? Did you see his appearance at Colorado on Well Off Media yet, or any of the other platforms that are showing it? I think what is it? Probably Reach the People Media and the pregame show. Let me know if you saw it and what you think. Who was that guy? What's that? Who was that guy? Damon, who are you referencing? Let me know who you're referencing. So, if you're talking about Shador, where it says, I've been that guy, if that's what you're talking about, Shador is basically saying, I'm that guy, that, that's who he is. So I wanted to kind of get everybody's insight into how they felt about Denzel being there today. It was epic. I think it's, and it's something else too we have to remember. Denzel is 70 years old, 70. This is something that's going to stay for a lifetime. And to hear Coach Prime call Denzel Washington Pops was hilarious. I was like, okay, I guess he's right. Yeah, he's kind of right, kind of, sort of. If Denzel is 70, Coach Prime is 57, maybe Unc. Maybe Unc. I don't know about Pops. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that was hilarious to me. So yeah. Gracie said, I saw it earlier, but I haven't had a chance to actually look at the videos. Yeah, I think it's about 35 minutes. So yeah, I understand that. All right, so let's see if I got this to upload. So today in free agency, overnight, what took place overnight was the fact that Russell Wilson it was reported that Russell Wilson is interviewing with the Browns and the Giants. Now, I told y'all that I felt like by the end of the season, I felt like Mike Tomlin was under pressure to do some things. And two of the things I felt like he was under the pressure to do is get rid of, dismiss Russell Wilson, and probably dismiss or bench, make him QB2, Justin Fields, right? And we talked about how Aaron Rodgers is that guy that's no team seems to want, right? For obvious reasons, right? He's proven that he's not that guy. He's proven, what are you going to do? Give him a 1-year contract? I mean, and then you're still taking a risk, because when he was at the Jets, it showed that he couldn't get it done. But we talked about how the media tried to fabricate and massage the statistics using yardage rather than the QBR rating to show that Aaron Rodgers is not that guy. By QBR rating, Russell Wilson is that guy. Sam Darnold was first, Russell Wilson was second, and Justin Fields was third. They are the guys. So Russell Wilson being shipped, basically going to talk to Cleveland, going to talk to the Giants, which seemed futile in my opinion, because I don't see the Giants picking up Russell Wilson. I don't see Cleveland having the ability to pick up Russell Wilson. Has a $32 million dead cap that has to hit Denver. So I guess maybe Denver gonna pay it, but I don't know. And if they do it, it's just like I said, it's forced, because I feel like Mike Tomlin was forced into this. Why go get DK Metcalf when you see all these reunions happening? Now you have Justin Fields reunion with the Garrett, that his target from Ohio State. You got Geno Smith reunion with Pete Carroll. And then, you bring DK Metcalf to Seattle. And then what? You already had Russell Wilson, so now you get rid of Russell Wilson? It's just not making no sense. And somebody got to pay Russell Wilson, so he going somewhere. But I just feel like, it's just part of this whole blackballing. I feel like he's being blackballed. He's being retaliated against. And I took a look at the collusion case again to see what quarterbacks were named. It was 3 that I could think of top of my head. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray. All 3 veterans who were named in that collusion lawsuit. And I thought what was interesting is that the NFL was found guilty, right? And I don't know what's going on with Kyler Murray. I never really hear much about him. But we know there was some speculation about Lamar Jackson intentionally being let down in that last game. And then we talk about how Russell seems to be treated, even though he did pretty good in Seattle. Like I said, he has the second highest QBR rating. But I also said Russell Wilson is a man of God, so he's going to probably take these visits with like, let me just go see what God has done, because that's how he's going to look at it. And, while they probably expect him to feel some type of way or feel less value or less worthy, they want to act like Russell Wilson is washed up at 36, but they want to prop up Aaron Rodgers at 41 and force Mike Tomlin, who's also black, to take Aaron Rodgers or to make him an offer. So Aaron Rodgers say he gonna think about it. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but last night I posted on Threads. I said if Mike Tomlin might want to realize that he's being set up to fail. Set up to fail. They were shocked that Justin Fields escaped because that's what it felt like. It felt like he escaped because they really were gonna try to bench him to number 2, but he's supposed to be QB1. We shall see. And with the Jets. So that worked out. Now Russ, they can say they got him going all over the place. And then it's like they want to force Pittsburgh to make, like, we want Aaron Rodgers to be somewhere. Then go find him somewhere to be. And why does it have to be Pittsburgh? So I do feel like Mike Tomlin is being set up to fail. So I don't know what he think going on. But I said at the end of the season, he was under some kind of pressure. And you can now see, what other team do you see out here wanting Aaron Rodgers? That's fighting for Aaron Rodgers. That's inviting him to talk. No, but they're going to force Pittsburgh to do it. So that's what it is. And, I haven't heard anything else about if he accepted the offer. Now, if he's still thinking about it, it must be a lowball offer. I can't imagine why it would be. He shouldn't have an offer at all. And neither should Daniel Jones. The Chargers say they're going to keep their backup quarterback, Taylor Heineke or somebody. I never heard of him. People talking about how Jameis Winston don't have a team, and Denver apparently has to pay Russell Wilson $32 million. So Russell Wilson's going to end up somewhere. So I don't know why, if he did pretty good in Pittsburgh and they almost made it to the playoffs, why he had to be traded at all. I think it's just to make him feel devalued because of the collusion case. And it's not a coincidence Lamar Jackson is on that list. The only thing I don't know is what's going on with Kyler Murray. I thought I heard they were going to build around him. So, it's one of those things we're going to have to see and keep an eye out on what's going on. And the NFL's, what people are saying about the collusion case is, yes, the NFL was found guilty, but not guilty enough. I'm like, you either guilty or you innocent. If the NFL is found guilty of collusion, that's it. But they not guilty enough to award damages. That's like being a little pregnant. You either pregnant or you're not. When you start splitting hairs on how guilty an organization is, they just don't want to accept the fact that they did wrong. They did some of their veterans wrong. 3 veterans in particular. Russell Wilson, who's out here, even though they owe him $32 million, making him interview here and here and here like busy work, like a teacher giving you busy work, and moving him from a team that he could have stayed at with DK Metcalf. And then y'all know what's going on with Lamar Jackson. So that's where we are with free agency. And I believe it ends at 4 p.m. tomorrow on the 14th, which is tomorrow. So where do I think he's going to? Who you talking about? Hey, Damon, who you talking about? Shador? I still think he's going to end up with the Raiders. Hey, Coach Dre, how you doing? It said, hey, they hope all is well. Finally got you live. So proud of you for reporting on all. Keep pushing. Thank you, Coach Dre. Last night, I heard that they thought that Anthony Richardson could possibly end up in Pittsburgh. And I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. Let me know. But that was the latest to come out of free agency late last night. Russell Wilson going to interview with New York and the Browns, or the Browns and New York respectively. And Anthony Richardson could possibly end up in Pittsburgh. That was the craziest thing to me. But I told y'all Anthony Richardson was the next target because Daniel Jones was unnecessarily sent to Indianapolis. Coach Dre, let me know your thoughts on that. And thank you for the kind words. It said, did what? And Gladiator? Honestly, I don't know. I didn't see Gladiator. I know I never saw Gladiator. Like I said, the movie I remember Denzel that I think is one of the best outside of like Equalizer or something like that is Training Day. In the comments, since quite a few of you are here, thank you so much. Drop in the comments what's your favorite Denzel Washington movie. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about that. So I'll come back and check to see what you all selected as your favorite Denzel movie. One thing about Coach Prime that I can say, I intentionally added Denzel Washington to this photo because it shows we were already talking about how stellar the coaching staff is, and to see Coach Prime and Marshall Faulk standing next to each other, I felt like I posted was a cheat code. I feel like that's a cheat code. And as to how giddy Coach Prime was to have Marshall Faulk on the staff, like it's surreal to him. Like he can't believe it. You know, one of the greatest. Then we got the greatest, Denzel Washington, reaching out, wanting to talk to Colorado, like I said, because I believe he thought Shador was still there and he's seeing all of this hatred. That's how widespread and pervasive it is. That's why I'm so happy to see Shador on vacation. So in the comments, let me know what your favorite Denzel Washington movie is. And I put together a video of LeJohntay. So I'm going to see if I can find that and see if I can show it, because he's been working out. And I want to turn our attention to, since we have several guys working out, I'm sure there are people in the comments who actually have some insight on these businesses, how they work, you know, what they do, what services they offer. Is it expensive? How do you pay for it if you're in college? Because they work with you to go pro. So those types of things. So I want to see if I can get some input there. Let's see. See if I can find LeJohntay. I already had a video of LeJohntay anyway, but I put together another one. So I'll see if I can get it to come up. But if not, I want to get your input. And he listed who he was working out with too, like Take Fitness or somebody like that. Let's see if I can get it. All right, let's see. Some more comments here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch Gladiator. It said Aaron is washed up for real. Yeah. And everybody knows it. Like if you're on Threads and you look at the commentary, everybody knows it. And that's why I felt like, remember I told y'all like a few hours before free agency started, how the media was doing what it does, trying to create a hype train for Aaron Rodgers. And they were like trying to force Pittsburgh to talk to him and make him an offer. And this was before Justin Fields left. But instead of Pittsburgh making Aaron Rodgers an offer, that's when it came out right after free agency started, which was about noon that day. So right immediately, almost after, Justin Fields signed with the Jets. And that's when some of the commentators' mouth hit the floor because like their jaw dropped, like, what? They were expecting Aaron Rodgers to come to Pittsburgh and Justin Fields to be the number 2. I don't know who the number 2 is because we don't even know who the number 1 is. And DK Metcalf was asked what he thought about Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson not basically being extended an offer. And he said he wasn't worried about it. He just played football. So it's like he wasn't married to either one of them. So what kind of question is that? So Leon said what they are saying about Shador is the same thing that they were saying about Cam Newton. Interesting. Okay. And it's the same commentator saying it. And we all know how that ended with a public apology. Really? Now, see, I never watched Cam play. So that's some good insight, Leon. So they apologized to him? That's surprising. That is very surprising. So you're gonna have to expand on that a little more, Leo. They apologized to him at what point, and what made them apologize? Because he became a star instantly, or was there like one monumental moment, kind of like what they were doing with Jalen Hurts? After Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, I saw a few commentators. I owe Jalen Hurts an apology. Aaron Rodgers is a locker room. Oh, okay. Really? Okay. Thank you for that. He's a locker room. Okay. Yeah, I've heard people say he's not a team player. Training Day. Gracie said her favorite Denzel movie is Training Day. Mine too, Gracie. Mine too. I think that will always be my favorite. And I think his last acting role is him playing Othello on Broadway. I thought it was going to be a movie. Turns out it's Broadway. So this is where you get the EGOT, the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. I don't know if he is close to that. But this is supposed to be the last acting role as he retires. So let me know in the comments what's your favorite Denzel Washington movie. Gracie said Training Day. That is also mine. And I agree with the fact, but they are definitely setting Mike Tomlin up for the future. They set him up probably to be booted out in the future. I don't know. It doesn't make sense what they're doing, because Russell is the number 2 free agent with the QBR, the second highest QBR. Justin Fields was number 3. They were trying to get rid of both of them. They were trying to make Justin Fields QB2 and Russell just gone. And I told y'all that have everything to do with the collusion case. Russell Wilson is not washed up. I've heard a few commentators say it. He's not washed up. Second highest QBR rating. So in my opinion, they try to take Justin Fields and bench him and take Russ and get rid of him, leaving Mike Tomlin and pushing Aaron Rodgers on him. Mike Tomlin appears to be set up to fail. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. That's what it looks like. Setting him up for the future to do what? That's the question. To do what? If he was already there and they brought DK Metcalf, somebody that Russ is familiar with, why get rid of Russ? Denver was paying his salary, so why has Russ got to move around? Tell me why it makes sense for Pittsburgh to dismiss Russell Wilson. I need one of y'all in the comments, tell me why. But that they should offer Aaron Rodgers a contract. I haven't heard anybody say why it's good business to get rid of Russell Wilson. I haven't heard anybody say it, because it's not. This is about that collusion case. So yeah, they set Mike Tomlin up all right. It said, I love Remember the Titans because, hey Queen T, because my son, when he was younger, absolutely loved that movie verbatim. Okay, that's the one that they started today's Colorado's day 3 meeting off with for spring ball. And when they showed Remember the Titans, they showed a clip, and Coach Prime said, let's go to the next one. So he knew Denzel was already there. And the rumor is, have y'all heard the rumor? It's supposed to be a rumor. Coach Prime put it out there, but he said it's a rumor. I don't know who put it out there, but Coach Prime said it's out there that there is a remake in the works with Coach Prime and Denzel Washington in Remember the Titans. If it is, that's a development, because remember I said Denzel's last role is supposed to be Othello, that he is currently performing on Broadway, and it's doing really good. So I would love to see that. So let me know your thoughts about Denzel's favorite movie, and if you think truly they're going to remake Remember the Titans with Coach Prime and Denzel Washington. Leon Booker said a toss-up between Malcolm X and Remember the Titans. Is Malcolm X the movie that Denzel Washington was up for an Academy Award or Oscar and he didn't get it? Does anybody know? I got to look for that. Malcolm X was good. I agree. Even though I like Training Day, Malcolm X was good. Let me see if I can find that out. Malcolm X was good. I can't take no props away from that one. Yeah, that was good. So I'm gonna have to see. All right, let's see if I can find out if did Denzel Washington win an Oscar for Training Day. Let's see. Did Denzel Washington win an Oscar for Training Day? Let's see what he has won an Oscar for. Let's see. Denzel Washington Academy Awards. Here we go. The list. He won Best Actor in Training Day in 2002. Makes sense, right? Best Supporting Actor in Glory. I forgot about that movie. Glory was 1990. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. Does anybody have Glory as their favorite movie with Denzel Washington? Totally forgot about that movie. Best Actor 2022, The Tragedy of Macbeth. I didn't know about that movie. He was nominated. He didn't win an Oscar, but he was nominated, but I didn't know about that movie. So he has Training Day, Best Actor 2002, Best Supporting Actor 1990 in Glory, and Best Actor in 2018 he was a nominee for Roman J. Israel Esquire. I feel like I saw that movie. Was he a lawyer? I might be getting him mixed up with Jamie Foxx. And then in 2017, he was nominated for Fences. Now, I didn't see Fences. I saw clips of Fences over and over and over. And I'm just going to tell y'all, that movie, yeah, you got to be, yeah, that's a good movie, but it pulls at your heartstrings a lot. He was also nominated, it was nominated for Best Picture in 2017. I don't know if he was a director of that movie, but he was Best Picture 2017. Best Actor 2018, Flight. Did y'all watch that movie? Was that when he was the pilot, flying the plane over the Hudson or something like that, and he had to land the plane? I could be wrong, but he was nominated for Flight in 2013. In 2000, that's early. The Hurricane. I don't think I remember The Hurricane. Nominee. Best Actor 1993, Malcolm X. He did not win. He was just nominated. And Best Supporting Actor in 1988, Cry Freedom, nominated. So he's only won, is it 2 awards? He's only won twice. So let's talk about that. Denzel Washington said in his appearance, like via Zoom today, when talking with the Colorado football team, that there was 2 awards that he didn't win that he wanted to win, and how he went home and he drank. I had never heard that. I'd never even considered that. And how when he was 13, he went to a private school, and unfortunately some kids fall into peddling pharmaceuticals. He said he actually did them. And he talks about God's grace for him when the needle was dangling in his arm and somebody walks in, but that wasn't enough. They did it anyway. And he said he just felt like God just grabbed him as they got older. His friends serving almost 100 years combined. 2 passed away. 1 just got out, released 40 years. But he was the one that was saved. So here he is, 70 years old, carrying around a piece of paper from when 50 years ago, when he was 20, when he was at his mom's salon, and the lady walked in, and they knew her, and she looked at him after he had just flunked out of college, after starting out as a biology major, switching to like political science because he wanted to be a lawyer, and then switching to journalism, and he just flunked out. And so he was at home at his mom's salon, ran into this lady. They refer to her as a prophet, and they wrote it down on paper that his purpose will be to preach the word of God to people, to travel and do that. And he's 70, ready to retire. That's why I don't know if, remake of the Titans is true or not. That could just be something to talk about, but that's what he's doing. So he knows what his purpose is. And like Training Day, most all his movies, that's my guy. When there's a new movie to come out with Denzel, my husband would say, "Let's go see your boyfriend at the movies." That's funny, Queen T. Yeah, everybody knew Denzel was that guy, for sure. Hey, Kiel, welcome, fam. What's up? Russell Wilson became a diva. Explained this on an interview after they won the Super Bowl. He thought he was in what? What? Okay, after they won the Super Bowl, he thought he was Okay. Okay, so you're saying that they treated him like this because he's a diva? That's what you're saying, Kiel? It say good evening, family. Peace to everybody in chat. Thank you, Kiel, so much. Thank you. Thanks, fam. Damon said they finally not beating us in that division. Which one is that, Damon? Welcome, Sharitha. I hope I'm saying it right. Let's see. Yes, welcome. Tomlin is washed up. So you think Mike Tomlin is washed up, Damon? I feel like he's being set up to fail. I do. I feel like this is what I really think. Okay. I feel like when Justin Field was in Chicago and they were trashing him relentlessly. And it was the organization, because even with Caleb there, the organization was trash. And they talking about they need to fix Caleb when it's the organization. So I felt like after what was you see happening in Shador, you see Denzel Washington gravitating toward Coach Prime, thinking that Shador was there, wanting to speak to the team and wanting to share a message about those that can't talk about those that do. Ignore the critics, you're going to have haters, right? I felt like Mike Tomlin was being Denzel Washington in that moment. I think he was trying, in my opinion, and people might get upset, I feel like he was being like a shelter for a shield to try to get Justin Fields out of that all god awful situation, and he was just being pummeled with people's words. And it wasn't his fault, just like it wasn't Bryce Young's, just like it wasn't CJ Stroud this year, just like it wasn't Caleb, And at the time, I didn't have the awareness that I can now see and look that another year has passed to understand what exactly was going on with Justin Fields. I knew it wasn't right because Chicago wasn't good before that. And Justin Fields going to Pittsburgh, I felt was like some kind of rescue. That's how I felt. Maybe that's why I feel like he escaped to the Jets. And then the same thing with Russ. We see Russ on TV being humiliated by Sean Payton. But then when Bo Nix get there, Bo Nix is the one chomping down Sean Payton, which in my opinion was some kind of karma, whether Bo Nix knew it or not, for the way Sean Payton was treating Russell Wilson. And again, that collusion case was out there at that time. I want y'all to know. It was somewhere going on. They didn't just decide this overnight. This was out there. And Denver wanted Russ to change his contract because he had an injury clause. Like if he gets injured, he gets XYZ amount of money. And they wanted him to remove that clause. And he didn't. So he stood up for himself. Then there's the collusion case. That's why I think all of this is happening. He's not the only diva in the NFL. Let's just be honest. So I felt like because Mike Tomlin did that, they realized he had the power as a head coach. And probably the GM, let him do it because he liked Mike Tomlin and he thought it was a good idea, regardless of why he said he wanted to do it. He ended up with 2 black quarterbacks on his roster. Justin Fields was supposed to start. Russ was supposed to back him up. Justin Fields, they bench him at 4-2. I don't know why you bench somebody at 4-2, but they did. And I felt like that's when the madness started with Mike Tomlin being forced. Okay, so you made these decisions to bring them in. Okay, cool. Now we gonna make you do this. And that's where I think Aaron Rodgers come from. And they wanted to split up that duo. That's how I felt. That's how I've always felt. So kudos to Justin Fields for escaping Pittsburgh. And I think even though Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season, I still think they are trying to force the decisions that he makes. He's not making any independent decisions. That's what it's when it comes to Russ and Justin and Aaron Rodgers. Leon said they apologized after his rookie season, talking about Cam Newton when he won Rookie of the Year and set the rookie passing yardage record. The ESPN draft analyst who suggested that he switch positions apologized. I didn't know that they wanted Cam Newton to switch positions like they did. That's crazy. Lamar Jackson, did they ever apologize to Lamar Jackson? I wonder. If anybody know if they ever apologized to Lamar Jackson, let me know. But it's funny, I did hear people apologize to Jalen Hurts. They're going to be apologizing to Shador. Y'all females love Denzel. Yep, we do. No shame there. What's not to love? Queen TC, I think Coach Tomlin is about to go. I like Coach Tomlin, but I think his job is on the line. Russell Wilson should have stayed at Pittsburgh, in my opinion. Thank you, Queen T. There was no reason to move him. Why would you move the QB with the second highest QB rating? And you just brought in DK Metcalf. I feel like when they saw DK Metcalf hit, and it said that DK Metcalf and Geno Smith, the GM, wanted them to stay. That personal conversations with somebody named Schneider in Seattle is how DK Metcalf got shifted to Pittsburgh. So it's supposed to be a coincidence. But since Russ was there and they knew, in my opinion, that this could work, he's gone. Because why? Denver is still paying him. Denver is also the same organization that you saw try to humiliate on TV and try to retaliate against him because he refused to remove that injury clause. That if he got injured in the last 3 games, he gets XYZ dollars. And I said at the time, I didn't have a podcast. I probably said it just in general, but I remember saying to myself, because everybody wanted to know why was Sean Payton treating Russell Wilson that way. And it was true. People said when Russ was at Seattle, he wanted to have an office and that you couldn't talk directly to him. You had to go to talk to somebody else to talk to him. And it was sounding kind of Hollywood. And y'all know he's married to Sierra. So I don't know where this came from because Russell never seemed like that type of guy. So when he got, they said that's why he's not in Seattle. So when he got sent to, where did he go? Denver. When he got sent to Denver, they said the same thing happened. He wanted this office and people couldn't talk to him and Sean Payton got upset about it. And supposedly that's what the disagreement stemmed from. Not that that's what they were arguing about, but Sean Payton didn't like that situation. Now understand, when Russ went to Denver, Sean Payton wasn't there. People said the family that owned Denver brought Sean Payton in for the sole purposes of doing what he did to Russ, like kicking him off his high horse. That's what people said. And then we see it play out when Bo Nix get there. You know, he ain't hollering at Bo Nix. Bo Nix is hollering at him. So I don't know how all of that's really going, but that's what was said at the time. So that speaks to what Kiel is saying about the whole diva thing. But I do know about the injury, what they wanted. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you drafted him with this $250, $30, $60 million contract with this clause in it, how you gonna come to him and ask him to change it? And because he won't, you mad. You drafted him with this contract, and now you mad because he won't alter it? They didn't ask him to restructure his salary. This was about an injury clause. That if he got injured the last 3 games, they still had to pay him. So why you okay with signing a contract then, but you're not okay with it now? Is that because of the collusion case? And when he was in Pittsburgh, I never heard anybody say anything negative about Russ. So somebody got to pay him $32 million. So he going to be somewhere unless somebody just going to write him a check and say, thank you for your service. So I don't know. But again, I have not heard anybody say it makes sense to trade Russell Wilson from Pittsburgh due to any football skills or off the field issues. The Hurricane was based on a true story and was phenomenal. What was the Hurricane about? Was that a boxing movie? I feel like that was a boxing movie. Let me know. I don't know. Queen T meant to say based on a true story. I got you, Queen T. After Sierra got him. Oh, so he changed after he started dating Sierra. Damon said the AFC North. I'm in Cincinnati. Okay, that's right. You a Bengals fan. Okay. It said, hey, Jerry, welcome. One of the first movies, A Soldier Story. That was a good movie. Oh, okay. I didn't know Denzel was in that. Okay, thank you for that, Jerry. So that's your favorite Denzel movie. Don't forget, y'all supposed to be dropping in the comments what your favorite Denzel movie is. This is in honor of the epic appearance that Denzel requested to speak to the Colorado Bus today, which he did on day 3 a spring ball. Um, Queen T and Damon having a conversation. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go with that one. It said my best Ali movie. My best what movie was Soldier Story. Big Lip somebody. J. Okay. I didn't see Soldier Story. So now I gotta go find at least Hurricane and see what that was about. I feel like that was a boxing movie, but I don't know. And then I don't know about a Soldier Story. The only war movie I thought he was in was Glory, but I forgot about that one too. So um yeah. Okay. Kiel said yes. Okay. So there's conversation about why Russell Wilson is so different after marrying Sierra. He's enamored with her. That's what they're saying. That's not how they're saying it, but that's ultimately what they're saying. He's taken by her. How many they got kids? They got like 4 or 5 kids. That's hilarious. Yes, she put it on him. Okay, all right. Gary. Glory. Yes, Kiel said his favorite movie is Glory. Okay, all right. I like it, Kiel. I like that movie. That's a good movie. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. I think you know what? It's late. It's almost the weekend. Y'all told y'all in Atlanta, there's probably people out and about, scurrying, having fun. You know, because it's technically the weekend in this city. And you know, after I told y'all about the SWAC tournament, there were people out and about, and they had the city lit last night because people in town for the SWAC tournament. Which I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the. I wanted to try to make it to their the HBCU block party from 3 to 11, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. Jerry said Russell and DK Metcalf are best friends. What? Oh, Jerry, that's the kind of insight I like. Thank you so much. See, I didn't know that. So whether I don't know how it came about with DK being traded, they're saying after these personal conversations with somebody named Schneider, that's how DK finds himself in Seattle. And then Russ was there, but then suddenly they want to move Russ, which means they want to do what? They want to eliminate or reduce the probability that Russ will be successful, Mike Tomlin will be successful, that Pittsburgh will get past, make it to the playoffs this year. Remember, they almost got there, and Shannon Sharp, who almost burst a carotid artery, said it was lazy George Pickens' fault. That's what he called that man. So when I saw DK Metcalf and will be playing opposite George Pickens, I was like, sound like they got one more person to remove because according to Shannon Sharp, he just was not him. He didn't do a good enough job to secure the ball so they could go to the next level. So I don't know. But we're going to see, because what I'm hearing is if Russ doesn't have an offer in free agency, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't accept the offer that was unjustly made to him, who they gonna have as a quarterback? And I did read an article today that people are using clickbait, Shador's name for clickbait, saying Shador is plummeting to number 21. Now that's not plummeting if he goes, oh, we think Shador could go to the Steelers. Now I told y'all I like that. I like that. I like Russ too. I think Russ, if Russ not gonna be QB1 anywhere, and he was already expected to be QB2, I think Russ QB2 with Shador QB1 in Pittsburgh is a scenario that I like. And I think Pittsburgh could trade up to somewhere to get Shador. Or remember what we said yesterday? The Browns could draft Shador and trade him to Pittsburgh. What do y'all think about that? The Browns drafted Shador and trading Shador to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh QB1, Russell Wilson QB2, and Shador's targets would be, in my opinion, DK Metcalf, George Pickens, or y'all know who I'm getting ready to say, Jimmy Horn Jr. What y'all think? Let me know. I know I asked y'all a lot of questions, but that's an important question. What's this say? Queen T say, oh, they jump teams. Oh, okay, I think they have a conversation. Okay, 22, what's up, 22? Why would you bring in an old loser QB for a playoff QB? This is how you reward Russell Wilson with this disgusting. Yes, see, 22 is on it. 22 knows. See, we like-minded. We right here. We right here. I'm telling you, that makes absolutely no sense. Now, let's see how many announcers between tonight and tomorrow talk about the fact that Russell Wilson, what is the reason that Russell Wilson should not be in Pittsburgh if they almost made it to the playoffs after Justin Fields went 4-2? And why did you bench Justin Fields, who had a better record? 4-2 is not bad if that's where you were. If you played 6 games and he's 4-2, why would you bench him? And then when you bench him, you get almost there. You didn't get there because Russ had an issue. You didn't get there because of George Pickens, but you kept him. You kept him. And they're saying Shador is going to plummet to the 21st. He's not plummeting if Pittsburgh is interested in him. And he can go there and start. But will Mike Tomlin have the autonomy to suggest that or make a decision? I don't know. I'm not getting that. And I don't want Shador going anywhere and somebody try to set him up and bench him and have him going to QB2. And I definitely don't want anybody in New York that's not the Jets drafting him and drafting him with the intent to bench him because they don't like his confidence. That's called retaliation. I will make sure people know that's what it's called. Yes, Hurricane was a boxing movie. Okay, thank you, Queen T. See, I didn't know. Okay, so if you're just joining us, everybody is in, I guess, dropping in the comments their favorite Denzel Washington movie or TV show. Don't forget, I think he was on a TV show. He played a doctor. Does anybody know what show that was? I think I know. Not Grey's Anatomy. Not Grey's Anatomy, I don't think. Says, Sharitha says, mine is American Gangster. Oh, I forgot about that movie. American Gangster and Malcolm X. You know what? American Gangster was good. See, now it's getting tough. I'm still holding on to my number one, Training Day. I can't let that one go. But then Glory is good too. But I forgot about American Gangster. Okay, I'm going to put American Gangster second. I'm going to put Glory third. And, Malcolm X. Wait, let me reshuffle. Okay, Training Day first. American Gangster second. I got Glory, but I have Malcolm X. I hate to bump Glory down. Glory was good. It was just a long time ago. So I got to go watch it. American Gangster definitely 2. Malcolm X is 3. But I hate to bump Glory down to 4. So I'm going to go Glory 3. I can't bump Malcolm X down. That's disrespectful. So as y'all can see, I'm in a quandary here. I know I have Training Day 1, American Gangster 2. But when it comes to 3 and 4, you know what we should have did? We should have did a draft with a mock draft with Denzel Washington movies in the top 10. And we all go round by round and say, okay, for your first movie, what movie is your best movie for Denzel Washington? And the consensus is what movie goes first. We got to do that. That's like on a Friday night, like not tomorrow, but like one day, just kind of have a game night and we'll do a mock draft. Maybe we'll do a draft week. We'll do a mock draft for Denzel Washington movies before we do a mock draft of the teams, like the NFL for real. So I like that. Let me know how y'all feel about doing a mock draft for Denzel Washington movies. My favorite movie is Equalizer and Malcolm X. Okay, 22. Okay, I get that. Equalizer was good too. But that would be my number 5. And I never saw Hurricane. Does anybody remember a movie that Denzel played a Jamaican police officer in? And he went and rescued this lady who was being, I feel like the lady he went to rescue was Sanaa Lathan from her womanizing and abusive husband. I think they were in Jamaica or some island city where they had palm trees, and he was a police officer with like a white shirt and some shorts, like blue shorts or something. This was a very early film. If anybody could figure out what that film is, let me know. Shannon is. David said Shannon don't understand. He what? How blessed. Shannon is a hater and don't understand how blessed he is. Uh-oh. Russell and his wife, Jerry. What you say, Jerry? Russell and his wife see what? I'm not sure what you mean there. Let me know, Jerry. I didn't get the rest of that. Russell and his wife, SE. What's that? Queen T said they trying to put that guy Dart in front of the first pick. Yes, I heard that. Oh, guess who name popped up today? Jalen Milroe. Now, you know, Jalen has a Nike deal, I do believe. I think that was him I saw. So he ain't no scrub. So today I saw a headline go past me. I didn't have a chance to look at it. That said, good news for Jalen Milroe. Now, I told y'all who Jalen Milroe's agent is. And we talked about that, not Alabama connection, but that Jalen Milroe, Jalen Hurts connection to the agent. Yes, they both played for Alabama. Suddenly, all of a sudden, they want to act like they see Jalen Milroe. I knew that was going to happen. Now, remember, Jalen Hurts does not have a backup. And the Chargers are keeping their backup. And I said, it would not surprise me if Jalen Milroe is the QB2 to Jalen Hurts, because he was already expected to go number 40 to the Saints. But I don't know if the Saints are really going to get somebody. But remember, Kellen Moore was just in Philadelphia, also knows Jalen Milroe's agent. But I don't know how the Saints organization conducts themselves when it comes to business. They could be like the Giants, the Titans, or are they more like the Browns and just clueless? I'm not really sure. So we need to keep an eye on Jalen Milroe. I told y'all, we're friends. I'm friends with Jalen Milroe, friends of Cam Ward. I'm keeping an eye to see where they go. Will Howard, Dylan Gabriel. So all the QBs for the most part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yes, Queen T, I heard they were already trying to get him in the first round. I said, listen, instead of y'all hating on Shedeur and incessantly saying he's going to the Giants, who have never had a black starting quarterback, why don't you just go ahead and either send Aaron Rodgers or Jackson Dart to the New York Giants and just stop talking about it? Have you ever heard them say that either one should go to the Giants? Let me know. No. So now Russ is going to interview with the Giants, but Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin and whoever had to make Aaron Rodgers an offer. Why Aaron Rodgers just couldn't go up there to the Giants? The Giants could give him a 1-year contract, and then they could get rid of him next year when he's 42. And guess what? They can try to get, you know who they want to get? Arch Manning. That would have been the perfect scenario for the Giants. I mean, why sit up and force a story that's not going to happen? Unless you think that you're going to draft Shedeur QB2 because you're going to punish him for being confident. We're going to have a problem if that happens. People are already on edge. All right, so Damon said, yes, I do for him and their family, but in his career, not sure. Maybe he should give it 1 year and then just enjoy her family and his life. I mean, he's not washed up, though. You talking about Russ. Russ is not washed up, so I don't know why he would have to make those kind of moves. It's just people in the league don't like him for a multitude of reasons that are probably not fair. And y'all know I'm talking about that collusion case and that injury clause. Now, the diva thing, he's not the only diva. If they let him have an office, then he's not the first. Why they let him have it if they didn't want him to have it? You see what I'm saying? They let him have the office. He didn't just go take it. So they allow some things to happen, apparently. And I'm not saying he should have had an office. And maybe he did get beside himself. But there's no reason to have traded him, make him leave Pittsburgh. There's other people out there who are divas. We just don't know about it. You have to watch Soldier Story tonight. Oh, it is? Okay. All right, we was trying to find a movie to watch. Okay, it's definitely going to be a Denzel Washington movie. American Gangster was good. Yes, it was. It was good. Damon said they sergeant stayed talking movie. Good twist. Are you talking about the movie where Denzel Washington was the police officer and what I thought was Jamaica, but maybe it was like Florida because it had palm trees or something? It was some island place with beaches. That must be what it is, Damon. Okay. Young Denzel movie. Okay, good plot twist. I think that's it. Let me know what the name of that movie is, Damon. I'm not sure. Yes, it was called, he was in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Oh, that was in Florida. Okay, that movie was in Florida. Okay. Damon said he was simping in that movie with Sanaa Lathan and a Latino actress on Training Day. I forgot her name. Isn't that the lady that was in Hitch? I think the lady that was in Training Day was also Will Smith's co-star in the movie Hitch. Yes, I believe that's who it was. Cast of the movie Hitch. Her name was Eva Mendes. Her name was Eva Mendes. That's the lady that played opposite Denzel in Training Day. And I believe she was also the lady that played opposite him, Will Smith in Hitch. Eva Mendes. Yeah, I like her. She's one of my actresses. I have a favorite actress. I hadn't seen her in a minute. I watched Hitch, I don't know, so many times. It was a good movie. But it's not a Denzel movie. So drop your favorite Denzel movie in the chat, in the comments. So they were in Cocoa Beach, Florida. So that what was the name of that movie? I don't know. So she was in that movie too, huh? The movie is Johnny O, the Jamaica movie. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, 22. Thank you for that. Okay, Eva Mendes. Yep, that's her name. That's her name. Jerry said Russell and his wife introduced him to his girlfriend, and they are in contact daily. Oh, you talking about DK Metcalf? Jerry? Okay. See? You see? You see? So that means that they were expecting Russ to still be in Pittsburgh. And DK Metcalf showed up. And they were going to reunite, and somebody just blew it all up. If Russ doesn't get an offer from Pittsburgh, somebody's meddling. Yep, that's what it is. Thank you for that, Jerry. That's some good insight too. Thank you for that. And thank you, 22, for Johnny O. And thank you, Damon, for Eva Mendes. Yes, that's her name. I think the movie is called The Mighty Quinn with Denzel and, oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Denzel has been in a lot of movies. How many movies has he been in? He's 70 years old now. How many major films has Denzel Washington been in? Oh, my phone. Let's see. I don't know. I have to look it up. Okay. The Mighty Quinn. I think you might be right, too. I have to look at his, what they call it, IMDb or BD or something like that. So he is out of Pittsburgh. Who is that? Who, Damon? Who's out of Pittsburgh? I think you're talking about Russ, the Mighty Quinn. Yeah, if you're talking about Russ, supposedly he's supposed to interview with, they got to get a quarterback. So is it possible that they could go into the NFL draft with absolutely no quarterback? Or are they going to get somebody that's not Aaron Rodgers or Russ? And I don't know. Unless they might already have a quarterback. I don't know. The Mighty Quinn. Out of that movie, drug money to cover his girlfriend business. Oh, they talking about. Damon said The Devil in a Blue Dress. Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. That movie did not win an award. Wasn't what is his name? Don Cheadle. Wasn't he in that movie too? Don Cheadle and Denzel Washington. That movie was an adaptation of a novel by an author named Walter Mosley. His book series were mysteries. And they took that book, and turned it into a movie. That was a good movie. I can't believe that movie didn't win any awards. That was a good movie. The Devil in the Blue Dress. Yep, that's it. That's it. That was a good movie. He's been acting since the 70s. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. Now, I know there was a story that talked about how he and his wife met and that he was homeless at one point. He was sleeping in his car when he met her. That story should sound familiar. Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, and Denzel Washington are just the three that we know of. Now, I don't know if Samuel Jackson was ever homeless, but remember, he went to Morehouse and they kicked him out because they protested. I think they protested at Morehouse and they kicked him out because of that. Or he tried to kidnap Martin Luther King, or he friends with Martin Luther King, and something about the administration. It is something. And afterwards, he became an actor himself. But he was a security guard. But I know Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, and Denzel Washington were all three homeless people before they made it. Yep. I don't know who else, but I know those three have talked about it before. So when he said he flunked out of college and he came home, I don't know what happened from the time that he came home to being homeless and meeting his girlfriend, which he and his wife are still married. And even when he met her, I think she was doing Broadway. So I think he might have started out doing Broadway too. And he went from Broadway to major films. I think so. I have to look that up, but I think so. So he said his journey has not been a fairy tale. And he wanted the team to know that, look, I still don't have it figured out, and I'm 70. So they wanted him to like put a date on a time. Okay, how old should you be when you have it figured out? You know what people don't know? Not everybody in the modern era does one thing all of their life, right? Gone are the days when our parents worked for 35 years and got the watch. I don't think that exists anymore. I think it's commonplace to not just move around, to promote yourself. It's commonplace to, after you graduate high school and college, you work a job, and then that job lands to the one that becomes the one. And you might work it 10, 15, 5, 20 years, and then you might leave that. And then instead of doing that same field, you might become an entrepreneur. And then from there, you might stay an entrepreneur, or you might go back to corporate America or do something else. But, I don't know if people do the same thing for 35 years. So I think that's what the students were trying to get at. At what age do you know? Even when you know in your early 20s, your late 20s, and that's what you start doing, you might switch in 5 years because a passion may spark. And then you might do that for 10 years, and then you might go to something else. And it all could tie together, but it's in different fields, and maybe you're your own boss, or somebody, you and your friends get together and start a law practice or something like that. So they were trying to pin down an age. It's not an age. When you conquer something, you probably might move on to the challenge of something else, especially if you're a person who's creative, likes to be challenged, etc. Not everybody is, though. Samuel Jackson, let's see, it says he's been acting since the 70s. I didn't know that. Thank you for that. Sharitha said, I think he's been in how many movies? Sharitha, 56 movies? My goodness. Oh, Russell Damon. You talking about Russell. Okay, thank you, Damon. It said The Great Debaters and Unstoppable. The Great Debaters was good. That's the film where they were in college or high school, and they went to certain towns to debate people, and they were all black, and the people they had to debate were white. I think, is that the movie? I don't know when that came out. I need to know when that came out, because that might have been while I was on the debate team. That might have been, I don't know. It depends on when it came out. But yeah. Okay. All right. The Great Debaters. I like The Great Debaters too. Halle Berry was homeless. Was she? I never heard that. Thank you for that, D. Johnson. I didn't know that. Halle Berry was homeless too. You know who else was homeless? Tiffany Haddish. Did y'all know Tiffany Haddish was homeless? And guess who found her? You'll never guess. Her bestie. You know who that is? Kevin Hart. Now, I don't think he was ever homeless. He married young. And then they said the woman that he married was the one that kind of pushed him that maybe you should try comedy. And then he hit it, became a star kind of, sort of, and then moved on from that person. But Denzel said he never had considered even being an actor. So I don't even know how he got to Broadway the first time. Samuel Jackson was a part of the MLK movement, he said. Okay, that's okay. That makes sense. Samuel Jackson, not only was it profound that he was Uncle Sam because his name is Samuel Jackson. That's not that profound. What made it profound was what he was talking about, and that he was playing Uncle Sam, but he was in real life a pallbearer at MLK's funeral. And how did MLK funeral pass away? How did MLK pass away? Assassination by whom? All right. So that's what made it profound. And that's why I say Kendrick Lamar's a genius. That man only had 15 minutes to set up, perform, break down, and move around. And he had so much symbolism in about 12 or 10 minutes. That performance was not that long. Jeez. That's just genius on top of genius. If Kendrick Lamar told me the sky was pink, I'm gonna just go, okay. Because he's so smart and intelligent and has insight that he knows something I don't. That's clearly how that's gonna go. That's how that's gonna go. But people still talking about the Super Bowl. Do y'all know who the comedian Josh Johnson is? Do y'all know who Josh Johnson is? This dude is hilarious. He talked about the Super Bowl. He talks about a lot of things. But in terms of being a comedic genius, the way that Kendrick Lamar is a genius when it comes to music and lyrics, because he's a lyricist, which is why he won a Pulitzer. That's the way Josh Johnson, he's a young black man from Louisiana, is a comedic genius. The same way. You gotta go watch his stand-up. I was trying to figure out, I think I can get a snippet of it and show some of it here, but I wanted it to be relative to the topic that we discussed, and we had already discussed the Super Bowl when I ran into him. So he's on a 50-city tour. So if you're anywhere and you like Josh Johnson, that's right, that's the guy that we were talking about. Go see the show. Thank me later. 50-city tour in less than 3-4 months? It's crazy. It's a couple of months. Might be 6 months. 22 said this is because they are that Pittsburgh Steelers is close to being a Super Bowl team. That's why they want Aaron Rodgers in there, so he will get the credit. This is Tampa Bay and Tony Dungy and Gruden. Oh, okay. Okay, 22, you just told us something. I like it. And it makes sense. It actually fills in some context, I do believe. And that's what makes it so sad, We're not just watching competition and let them play. That should be the motto. Just let them play. But that's not what they want to do. They want to manipulate and manufacture an outcome to satisfy and disrupt. That's what it is. Madonna was homeless? What? Madonna was homeless too? See, a lot of people that make it big, they got to be homeless first. Ooh, I probably will never be that big. I don't know. When Denzel Washington talked about comfort, I thought about what he said. Because I always felt like, I tell people, you can't just be a believer. You have to have an intimate relationship with Christ. An intimate relationship. That way you can understand some of the things after it happens, so you don't, so you can survive things that most people can't. And that's the only way you do that. So Denzel was talking about comfort, and he was telling the team, he said, most people believe in God as long as they're comfortable, basically. But the moment that things start to get rocky, that's when you question your faith. But he said it. God never said that the road would be smooth. He just said, I'm gonna be with you. I thought that was good. And I don't know if y'all know, but there are people who have tried to eat, I'm not gonna say suggest. There are people praying and talking. Y'all know that. Y'all know that, right? And I was wondering if that was one of the reasons, if that's like a hiccup with his contract, that the regents who already had an issue with him, and now you have these people who don't want him to pray and bring God into the equation. And then Denzel comes in today with very epic conversation, very transparent, involves God. And they don't want Coach Prime doing that, but he's still doing it. So, you know, sometimes I think this not gonna work out with Coach Prime. Meaning he gonna finish out his contract, and after that he gonna be gone. I told myself that last night. I did. I said I think this is the end of the road for Coach Prime in Colorado, because Coach Prime is not gonna sacrifice. He's not gonna stop talking about that. And if there's any indication of that, is Denzel Washington want to talk to the team and Coach Prime saying yes, and Denzel being very transparent, talking about things that none of us knew. So I feel like after this contract is up, that's it. That's what I think. So let me know your thoughts, but that's what I think. The writing's on the wall, just like Mike Tomlin, but different. Coach Prime is going to choose his own path. Mike Tomlin, if he don't choose his own path, it will be chosen for him. Coach Prime has been here before with Jackson State, and he has options. And if he still have some options in 2 years, which it wouldn't surprise me. Remember, the coach in the Raiders just had is 75, 76, 77. That might be it. And Coach Prime, if they Shadour's there, or they trade for him, if he go to Pittsburgh or something, and I'm not mad at it, because I told y'all that we talked about this. All of the coaches that they value, they already have contracts. This one is lingering after giving Doc Livingston one of the biggest contracts his position has ever had. I told you it's a little shiesty. It's a little cutthroat. So to me, if we better cherish these last 2 years at Colorado, because Coach Prime is in good health and they're still, he said he don't have to interview for an NFL job. If that's still the case in 2 years, or this could be the last year, because Coach Prime did say, no, this will be the third year. Coach Prime said in talking to Doc Livingston, you interview for a lot of head coaching jobs, right? We're gonna make that happen at the end of this season. That means somebody could buy out the last 2 years. So let's enjoy while we got it. And I'm not mad if he moves on, because they should have asked him what he wanted and said, okay. That's what they should have did. So playing around with Coach Prime ain't the one. He already walked out of Jackson State and HBCU, and he really thought he was going to be there for a minute. He really did. He thought he was going to be there for a minute. And we saw what he did there. And there were people in the comments saying if they lose Coach Prime, they're going to go back to irrelevancy. They think they can take his blueprint and give it to Doc or somebody else. That's what they think. Oh, we know how to do it now. We know what to do. Okay, it's called the Prime Effect for a reason. It's named after him because he is the common denominator. You don't plug and play somebody else. Now, it's true. Coach Prime left a blueprint at Jackson State, but it wasn't for the Prime Effect. It was how to win, how to attract people, how to do this, that, and the other. It wasn't for bringing in $108 million. That's what happened the first 6 home games at Colorado. So they shouldn't have even hesitated. And I don't think he take too kindly to it. And I don't think he was playing when he told Doc, we going to make that a reality at the end of this season. He didn't say that to Pat Schumer. He said, I believe he will be a head coach again. He told Doc, we going to make that a reality at the end of this season. Madonna was homeless last year. I was homeless too. Oh, Damon, I hope everything is good with you. I hope everything is good with you. Yes, my mother and my daddy stay stayed on these jobs for over 30 years. Yep, that's how it goes. I mean, the older generation, they had pensions. They insurance after they retire get paid for. They get a wad of cash. Some of these pensions like $7,000 a month after you retire, and you get more money if you retire at 65 instead of 63. But I don't think these jobs out here come with that kind of benefit unless you're like C-suite or executive level. And depending on, you could be an entry level executive, but if you really up there, maybe if you retire there. But most people don't really retire at these companies like that anymore. So thank you for that, Queen T. Damon, I hope everything is good with you. D Johnson said Dawn from In Vogue is currently homeless. Oh, I just saw it. I think like a headline that said her ex offered her a job. Oh, wow. Okay. That's why we talk about these NFL players. You need to save your money. Save your money. Jimmy. Kiel said, you're right. Aaron Rodgers is trying to play a long game. He has everybody waiting on him. I really felt like Pittsburgh was forced to offer him because nobody else had wanted him, and I don't think they do either. Hello, everyone. Hey, Lisa. How you doing? Sharitha said, it came out on December 25th, 2007. The Great Debaters. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good movie. Okay. I got to figure out what movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch. I know I'm not going to watch Training Day tonight. It's probably going to be The Great Debaters, or I might watch Glory. I might watch that. Is that a movie I want to watch before I go to sleep? Or is that one of the... See, Fences, I need to be in a different... I can't do that. So, The Great Debaters. I need something light before you go to sleep. I can't have nothing that heavy before you go to sleep. I mean, in terms of drama or like too much action. That's too much. Yes, his performance was awesome. Thank you, Queen T. Check out Devil in a Blue Dress. Yes. Oh, you know what? I might watch that tonight. Devil in a Blue Dress was a good movie because I know Don Cheadle was in that movie. And it was some like little action scenes where they at the little juke joint. I kind of remember that. It's been a minute. I might go watch that. Okay, I like that one. Okay, Devil in a Blue Dress. I'm going to have to go find it. D. Johnson said, I like Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson is hilarious. So I think I can possibly share his clips because I don't think a lot of them are copyrighted. Some are, some not. He just started a new podcast. So I might see if I can share one. Josh is hilarious. And he's going to be, I think, in Atlanta, like in September, something like that. So yeah, if y'all like comedy, go Google, go to YouTube and type in Josh Johnson. He's hilarious. He's got a big break, he said, back in 2020. He's been grinding for a minute. He said he got a big break back in 2020 when, y'all know who Trevor Noah is? Remember Trevor Noah had The Daily Show? And in 2020, we were in the pandemic. There was supposed to be a live show, but he had to do like you know how they made people quarantine in 2020. So he could do a show with a limited audience. And he had an afro in a dashiki. He's from Louisiana. But now he has twists, and his hair is up like in a twist and a twist ponytail. It's masculine. It looks really nice. And he got the little one right here. And he's hilarious. He is hilarious. Comedic genius. Just like Kendrick Lamar is a musical genius and a lyrical genius, Josh Johnson is a comedic genius. Raider Nation. Okay. Aladdin, hello. How you doing? You say Shadua's going to the Raiders, huh? Or you saying you represent the Raiders, or both? Let me know. D. Johnson said, I think so too. I think Coach Prime is gone after this contract ends. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. See, there are always opportunities where you get to see how people truly are. There is no reason, unless he didn't want to sign his contract right now, he wanted to wait for after the draft. If it were up to him, hey, we made you this offer. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and sign it after the draft. We're going to focus on the players, get them to the league, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the announcement. That's not what's happening. I don't think he's going anywhere this season, but there might be a buyout at the end of this season, I'm telling you, I started to play the little clip of him saying that, but y'all can watch it and we can talk about it later or now. But he was not playing, and buyouts happen all the time, and I wouldn't be mad because this would somebody said this gonna be Jackson State 2.0. I'm like, it would be if I thought he was gonna be there for 5 years, but I think his contract gonna end up being bought out. That's what I think. Let me tell you what he posted. Remember I told you look at what Coach Prime posts before the day, before and after. We were talking about Justin Mayers and with the whole Escalade thing, and was he taking out a loan from his agency for this type of thing? And I said, well, if Coach Prime talk about it, we're gonna know if he's gonna have something to say, because if you look at the day before and after a situation, you can kind of pick up what he's talking about. DK Metcalf is engaged after being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Was that what somebody was just sharing, that DK Metcalf just got engaged? Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, that's nice. All right, so now he got to move to Pittsburgh. Let's see. Coach Prime. Deion Sanders. Okay, it says Deion Sanders. I thought it said Coach Prime, but okay, whatever. So, oh, he's still doing his show. It says, is this it? 15 hours ago. So this was recent. It says, there's never a right time to do wrong, and there's never a wrong time to do what's right. Stay faithful to right. Allow wrong to become lonely and wither away. Your time is coming, and it will be successful and at peace. It's only a decision away. Choose what's right. That's one. That was just 15 hours ago, though. Wait, is this the one? It said, okay. It said, you got to get it together because there's someone that needs you today. This is the one I think stuck out after so right around the time we were talking about these contracts and how he said to Doc Livingston, you've been interviewing for head coach job. We're going to make that a reality at the end of the season. I saw this and I said, because this was 2 days ago. It says, you've got to get it together because there's someone that needs you today. They don't want the broken, hurt, sensitive, shallow, distracted, or damaged you. They need the smiling, happy, blessed, appreciative, and resilient you. That's you. You're needed, baby. Let's go. I think he was talking about himself. And this happened around the same time y'all were telling me he was on the Morning Run show with either Uncle Neely or what's the other guy name? I can't remember his name. The one that was on 3. Deuce the Scoop. Either they were all together, he was on 2 shows or 1 show. But the point is, y'all said that and I saw that. And I think he's talking about himself because what he said to Doc Livingston was shocking to me. Because for him to say we gonna make that a reality at the end of this season, knowing he just signed a contract with Colorado, he's talking about Colorado. Yeah. And that's what somebody was saying in the comments. Did y'all hear that? And we just took it 2 different ways. I felt like when he said to Doc Livingston, Doc Livingston in front of everybody, you've been interviewing for head coaching jobs, right? And Doc was like, yeah. He wasn't like, yeah. It was like, yeah. We're going to make that a reality at the end of the season. So come on down here, you and Pat, and y'all be the head coach. It ain't going to be long. It ain't going to be long. He don't have to sign an extension. Remember, this is about an extension. His contract was already 5 years. We're only at the beginning of the 3rd year. He might not sign an extension. He might be done after this season. So he gonna get and I'm starting to wonder if that's why we seeing all of these changes coming in. Got 2 new strength and conditioning coaches. Mama T, Coach Taisha, she's not the director of football operations, which I thought she was. She said, and the way she said it was, why I just do what the general manager need me to do. That's how she said it. So, and then Coach Prime is talking about, there's a rumor out there that Coach Prime will remake Remember the Titans with Denzel, and he would have some time. I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not getting the feeling this is going down past year 5, and I'm starting to get the feeling there's going to be a buyout at the end of year 3. I'm just being honest. You're right. He won't stop talking about God. He's not, and that could be a hiccup. That could be a hiccup because people have been talking about this, around the university and with that, and he's not going to do that. After Coach Prime went through what he went through with driving on into the ditch and the police officer coming up to him, knowing he figured out who he was, asking him if he's okay, and then he tried to take his life. You think you try to take your life, and this is what God do for you afterwards? You think I'm gonna stop talking about God because you want me to? No. He's not gonna stop doing that. And if Colorado feel like that's an issue, Coach Prime not gonna be there. And I'm gonna just have to sell my jacket on eBay or wherever they sell clothes that you don't wear no more. And I'm gonna be wherever Coach Prime at. I'm just gonna tell you that. If he going to the NFL, cool. If he going to the UFL, I'll be there. So it said our Coach Prime is going to leave soon because Coach Prime said where his money. So I believe Coach Prime is leaving in 1 year to be with Shador. I think he is too. Here's the thing: life is short, right? Life is short. I'm not gonna sit up here and be somewhere. This is the saying I say, and I bet he probably believes it, and so do a lot of people. God don't leave me nowhere I'm not appreciating. Facts. And he not gonna sit up and waste the rest of his life on people who don't appreciate him when this man clearly brought the prime effect that he had at Jackson State to Colorado, and it just blew up too on steroids. And you can't figure out how much to pay him, or they offer. I think I heard the first offer was insulting. I think I heard that from like a David on Buffs or somebody like that when it first came out. So that meant they had to go back to the drawing table, and it was true. Coach Prime wanted to take care of his coaches, and he did. But they seemed to send a message with Doc's contract, and it's true. While Doc was interviewing at other places, and Colorado Regents or whoever makes these decisions got wind of it, what did they do? We gonna retain Doc because if Coach Prime walk, we good. That's how they looking at it. I'm telling you, that's how they looking at it. If they wanted to retain Coach Prime, they would have did it immediately. He does not have an extension. Maybe he'll get one before the end of the season. But I promise you, if he gets to the end of the season and he don't have one, somebody gonna buy out his contract and he gonna be an NFL coach or a UFL coach, or he gonna be in the entertainment industry, or he could buy out his own contract. Let's just be honest. So, it ain't looking good. And I know people say they're confident it'll get done. I'm not. Because even after it get done, you're going to have this feeling, And I could see him saying no. His key is gone. Once Juju out of there, Juju might go with him. And that's another thing. In Marshall, Texas, at Marshall College or Marshall High School or Marshall, whatever that is, we are Marshall, whatever. There was a coach. It's a black coach. He got hired by a school in Mississippi. All of his players, every last one of them, hopped in the transfer portal and went with him. That's going to be Coach Prime. It's already been done. It'll be done again. This man wasn't even at this school long. He took them to some Sun Belt Conference championship or something. He got a new job in Mississippi. Everybody hopped into the portal. That's going to be Coach Prime. I'm telling y'all. It ain't looking good. I don't have high hopes for it. I know people saying it's going to get done. Nobody wants a begrudgingly response after you have brought them all of this wealth and attention and growth. Like, I'd be like, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I go out there, do my job. I try to get these kids, because that's who it's going to be about. He didn't bring Denzel in for him. He brought Denzel in for those kids. And it's day 3. And on day 3, he brought somebody in that's essentially telling them, no, you don't have to figure it out today. And if whatever you got going on today, if you want to change it next year, cool. Now you got to get a degree and get out of here. So don't be changing every year. Do what's best for you. But the message was, don't be upset if things don't work out. That was the message. Coach Prime ain't gonna be upset if things don't work out. And you think they hating on Shador? Let Coach Prime be offered an extension, and he said, "No, thank you. I'm gonna finish out these 3 years," and they might pay him. You never know. If he turned down an extension, they might get salty. You know what? We just gonna go ahead on and buy you out. Cool. He's still gonna have somewhere to go. So I personally don't think this marriage is gonna last much longer. He not gonna stop praying. It wouldn't surprise me if that's a hiccup. First contract offer reported to be an extension, an insult, and we still don't have another one. And we get ready to play the spring game. So I think that message was for him to himself. He does that sometimes. If you read it, he's talking about himself. D. Johnson, Colorado will use Coach Prime and what's that, to bring attention and money to university and city. Once he has served his purpose, Colorado won't need him anymore. They will replace him. Colorado ain't gonna go nowhere. I mean, I know what you're saying, but they still gonna be there. They gonna slide right back into irrelevancy. Right back. They gonna need somebody to come in and make it popular and keep going. And maybe Doc Livingston can do that. But if they don't appreciate Coach Prime, he gonna have to move on. And knowing him, he know his worth. He gonna move on. That's what I'm telling you. I feel like that's why they gave Doc that contract, and that's why Coach Prime said, we gonna make that a reality at the end of this season, because he finna get that. He making his own decision. Y'all don't want me to be here? Okay, cool. So yeah, I agree. I agree, D. Johnson. Yes, day by day and God's guidance. Thanks for asking. Okay, good. Good, Damon. It says, watch something you ain't seen before. Okay, I could do that. Watch something I ain't seen before. Okay. I got to figure out what that is. Jerry said, it will be a disaster in Pittsburgh if Rodgers gets the job. He will throw his receivers under the bus if they drop a pass or run the wrong route. And then they're going to want to fire Mike Tomlin. Watch what I tell you. Well, we know Mike Tomlin, had never had a losing season here, but, we're going to have to go on and maybe move something different. There's a reason why they're trying to force Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh. He could have been forced anywhere. He could have went to the Giants. There's a reason. It said, The Great Debaters, that's a good movie. Yeah, that one was good. That might be a good one to watch. It said, okay, y'all, we finna wrap it up. It is 1 hour and 40 some odd minutes. We be having great conversation. Plus, Samuel Jackson was a Black Panther. And they didn't like that. What? I didn't know Samuel Jackson was a Black Panther. Y'all know what Samuel Jackson did his first movie role? You know what they named the character? They didn't. Black guy. Yeah. No cap. I think the first movie I ever saw was Samuel Jackson. I want to say The Negotiator. But how is that possible? Because wasn't Halle Berry in Jungle Fever with Denzel Washington and Samuel Jackson? Weren't they in that same movie together? I don't know. I feel like it's The Negotiator, though. Colorado Buffs would be crazy to let Coach Prime walk out the door with all of the Prime effect at this time. I agree. You know where I said Coach Prime should go? I know people going to be like, clutching their pearls. Get rid of that dude at Alabama and send Coach Prime to the SEC. I live right here in Georgia. I could get to the games. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen. You let Alabama have another bad season and Coach Prime available. They're going to be like, well, times are changing. We got to. And I go through Alabama all the time. They roads look nice and everything. So they seem to be pretty progressive. See how I'm going to try to make it work? I'm already of the mindset this marriage is Colorado is going to end soon. So in my mind, I was already going, Coach Prime could end up in SEC. You know who said that? Stephen A. Stephen A. said that. He really did. He said that. Shannon Sharp was the only person on a major box platform that actually campaigned for Colorado to pay Coach Prime what he's worth. No, but I've never heard Stephen A. say they need to pay him. Stephen A. said he's going to be in the SEC. That's what he said. I'd be fine if he go to Alabama. He said he liked Colorado, but, he liked Dallas too, and he in Colorado more than he in Dallas. A soldier story set in World War II, which is about a black platoon. Denzel's character kills the sergeant. The sergeant was a self-hating black man who was embarrassed at how black folks. What? Oh, I never saw that. I never heard of that movie. Okay. Thank you for that, Jerry. Very good insight. Thank you. You're welcome anytime. Hopefully you keep hanging out with us. We go live pretty much Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. and we go live a little later on Friday, Saturday, and Friday and Saturday. It's about an hour later, about an hour and a half later. The soldier story. Okay, thank you for that, Jerry. I appreciate that. I never saw it. It said, Kiel said it was assassinated by the government in 99. The King family filed a wrongful death. The government was complicit. It was a sniper, not James Earl Ray. So that's been made publicly available, which might be why Malcolm X's family, from what I heard, is suing to get some type of data that they have to show how the plot was put together to assassinate Malcolm X. I watched a documentary on that and how they actually recruited a black man into this circle of whatever these agents that they had. And they sent him to do that. So they knew not to send a white person. They knew to send a black person because only a black person could get that close to him if he became a member of their organization. And then they could say a black person did it and not them, which is what they do with Stephen A. They hide in the back while Stephen A disparages black people so white people will tune in. Same thing. That's how slavery got started. They sent black people to, and these black people didn't want to. I heard this from people from Africa. They said Africans didn't want themselves to be captured, so they went and got other people that they deemed less desirable, and they were like, "Hey, don't take us, take them." That's what they said. This coming from people who grew up on the continent. So I don't know which one to believe, but the point of it is, I see the reality of, hey, don't take me. Let me go give you my ox and go get them. I can see that. Whether they were desirable or not, they just didn't want themselves to be captured. So they told somebody else, let me go get these people for you. And they were the front people. And then the truth came out. That's a tale as old as dirt. It just happens over and over and over. That's why you have to be careful who you let in your circle. It said, a soldier story. Thank you for sharing that, Kiel. Thank you for sharing that. D. Johnson said, glad things are better for you too, Damon. Yep. Okay, y'all. So we're going to get out of here. This was excellent, epic conversation following an epic appearance of the Denzel Washington at Colorado with the football team. All of those young men, I hope they know how blessed they are to have that time with Denzel Washington. Like I said, he's 70 now. So we don't know how long we're going to continue to see him like that. We hope forever, but we know, like Shadua said, all good things come to an end, right? So we're going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for hanging out, with us again tonight. I appreciate the family. I appreciate the friends. I appreciate the new subs. Jerry, thank you too for hanging out with us. Kiel family, thank you. Gracie family, I appreciate y'all. I don't see James. And so when we see James, I just welcome him. 22, as always. Thank y'all so much. Queen T, thank you for seeing you again. D. Johnson, Sarita, thank you. We starting to see you more often. I hope we keep seeing you. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching What She Said.